Okay, so here's another thing you can do to dress up your game to be a little bit more professional, a little less blah looking for an indie game. It's dressing up your UI. Right now, most games have a blah box or just a simple text component that just says, "Hey, danger," whatever. But if we want to do something really fancy that seems like it fits this beautiful scene, we want to have maybe a border like this around our UI. So I will show you how to do that. Okay, so the aforementioned canvas sucks. Delete that. So what we're gonna do is make a scalable UI using those fancy corners. So the first thing we need to do is take this artwork and only save the corners, and then we're going to scale this dynamically with our UI component. So in Photoshop, you want all this to be transparent. So I do it, it's probably not the best way, but I'm going to go and click the black parts and then do a Control C, Control New. And then paste it down. And then some Photoshop stuff. Let's go ahead and just crank this down so we only have the essential parts we need. Okay, so it's roughly a square. Just to make sure we have everything just the size we want, I'm going to do a Control A, Control C, Control New. And I'm going to go ahead and save that as a PNG. Okay, that looks goofy. In that image folder, it scales everything to, but we know it's a square. Okay, so to handle images correctly, we need to make sure we have the Sprite package. We need to go to Window, Package Manager. Make sure you're in the Unity registry, and it's right down here, 2D Sprite. And we'll do an install. And you'll see why in a second. Okay, so now we can close this guy out. If we click our tiles and look at the inspector, it's a default, which means it's a bitmap. That means Unity can't manipulate it as efficiently as it can as a sprite. So if we go to convert this, we click default, sprite 2D. If we go to the mesh type, we do full rect, which will let us scale it correctly. Okay, now if we go to our sprite editor, it'll pull up our assigned, okay, whatever that means. Okay, it shows our thing, which is now ugly and black. It was white, but we can color on the fly now that it's a sprite. So let's go ahead and open this window up a little bit. Okay. And now these are the scale points, the scale regions. So what we basically want is the things that we want to not scale, we have to have outside of this little bounding box. So if we go here, we look at our artwork, kind of stops here, and we want to replicate here as we scale out. Shrink this down. Hey, what happened? Go ahead and pull this down. Just inside of here. Looks good. Same thing with this guy. Okay. We have unapplied. We'll do a save. Now that there's Sprite. Now if we go to create our canvas, right click anywhere, UI. You want to create a UI canvas. And then inside of the canvas, want to create a UI image. All right. Now I'm in gate view, so we kind of see exactly what it looks like. But inside here, we want to use an image. So let's go ahead and drag that sprite over. Okay, so there's our tile. It's there. Now if we actually scale it, it scales how we want without messing up those pieces. keeps those unscalable. Now we can fill that with whatever we want. We can go ahead and do another image. UI image, and say we'll just go ahead and scale that to match. Now we can actually go to the color and set its opacity or alpha channel down a little bit. Now we'll actually go to the canvas, UI, text, make it taller, center it up. And from here on out, you know how to do input boxes and things like that. Actually, I'm going to probably make these corners a little bit smaller, kind of goofy looking. All right, so that was a little long-winded for something super simple, but I hope this helps. Okay, bye.